Welcome to MayfiDav TV. You are highly welcomed. Please kindly subscribe, like, and share this video. Thank you. The debate over lawmakers' salaries and allowances in Nigeria has been a recurring issue, sparking intense controversy across various political landscapes. The salaries and allowances of lawmakers often become a focal point of public discourse, particularly in times of economic hardship or when significant portions of the population are struggling with financial instability. This issue is not just about the numbers on a paycheck. It touches on broader themes of equity, public trust, and the role of elected officials in a democratic society. Lawmakers, by the nature of their roles, are tasked with creating and enacting laws that shape the very fabric of society. This responsibility is immense, and many argue that their compensation should reflect the gravity of their duties. However, the question remains, how much is too much? The controversy often stems from a perceived disconnect between the salaries and allowances lawmakers receive and the average income of the citizens they represent. This gap can foster resentment and fuel the perception that lawmakers are out of touch with the realities of everyday life for their constituents. In many countries, lawmakers' salaries are set by independent bodies or commissions, intended to ensure that compensation is fair and reflective of the demands of the job. However, this process is not without its flaws. Critics argue that these bodies may lack transparency or be influenced by the very politicians whose pay they are setting. The allowances provided to lawmakers, which often include expenses for housing, travel, and other operational costs, add another layer of complexity to the issue. While these allowances are meant to cover the costs associated with performing their duties, they are frequently seen as excessive or subject to abuse. One of the key arguments in favor of high salaries and generous allowances for lawmakers is the idea that they prevent corruption. The logic is that if lawmakers are well compensated, they will be less tempted to engage in corrupt activities or accept bribes. While this argument has some merit, it is not foolproof. Corruption can stem from a variety of factors, including a lack of accountability and transparency, rather than simply from low pay. Another aspect of the controversy is the disparity in compensation between lawmakers and other public sector workers, such as teachers, healthcare providers, and law enforcement officers. These professions are also crucial to the functioning of society, yet they are often compensated far less generously than lawmakers. This disparity raises questions about the value placed on different types of public service and whether the current system adequately reflects the contributions of all public servants. Public perception plays a significant role in this controversy. When citizens perceive that their representatives are earning excessively high salaries or abusing their allowances, it can erode trust in government institutions. This erosion of trust is particularly concerning in democratic societies, where the legitimacy of the government is derived from the consent of the governed. If the public loses faith in their elected officials, it can lead to decreased voter turnout, increased political apathy, and a general sense of disillusionment with the political process. The controversy over lawmakers' salaries and allowances is also influenced by broader economic conditions. During times of economic downturn or austerity, the contrast between the financial well-being of lawmakers and that of ordinary citizens becomes even more stark. In such times, there is often a push for lawmakers to take pay cuts or for allowances to be reduced as a gesture of solidarity with the public. Conversely, during periods of economic growth, the issue may recede into the background, only to resurface when economic conditions worsen.
So why the car allowance again when you've already gotten 160 million naira worth of Jeep?
Well, you could have allowed me to first of all land before you load the second. Because it's like your canon is already loading. Cumulatively, when I was in the Senate, cumulatively all the allowances put together was 14.4 million naira per month.
Okay.
My salary was 1.something million naira. You have wardrobe allowances, you have your vehicle allowances, you have other allowances put together. It was 14.4 million naira.
Okay, these are the allowances, and your salary was
1 million.
Let's just say 1 million.
Well, yes.
So each senator,
yes,
during your time then,
yes,
would go home with 15.4
no,
million.
14.4 million.
No, plus your 1 million.
No, including that.
Okay,
including.
Okay, that's yes, fine. 14.4 million.
Yes.
Today, the case is different.
Yes.
It's about how much?
It is about 29 million now.
29 million.
Yes.
In this austere Nigeria.
I will come to that.
Okay,
now,
go on.
Now, 29 million looks big on paper.
Just on paper.
Just on paper. I am saying this as a very honest man. I am not trying to support National Assembly, an institution so vilified, and I have been a member of that vilified institution for 5 years. I am not siding with them, but I will bear the facts on the table.
Openly, very quickly, but you are happy with the humongous money, right?
It is not humongous.
Just on paper. Go on.
Just on paper.
Okay.
When I was in the Senate, my monthly salaries and allowances put together was about 14.4 million naira.
Yes.
And at the end of the month, the company I founded, which I was the managing director and the chief executive officer, when I won election, I had to leave the company to go into governance. Had to start subsidizing my own life, because the money that was coming or allocated to my office was 14 million, which was nothing, absolutely nothing, considering the demands, the want, the challenges faced by my own constituents on a daily basis. Now, let me put it this way.
What are they demanding?
Somebody will come and tell you today his wife is sick. He is sick. His children cannot pay school fees. He's in the hospital. I have a case that on that one person alone, I took the hospital. I spent 14 million naira on one person. And every month, from all over Adamawa State, in fact, at a point, from all over the country, my office is besieged with people looking for help. At a point, I don't like calling people's numbers. I don't like visiting people.
Isn't it? You definitely will go on.
Yes.
But
at a point, I had to start calling some state governors to help me with cases that is being brought from their state into my office. Now I have 14 million naira a month. And I am paying a lot of people's scholarship in my office. I am subsidizing people's life in my office, while a state governor in this country is going home with over 700 million naira security vote every single month, minimum. Some go home with 1 billion naira.
The state governors, they put it in their pocket, right?
No, I didn't say put in their pocket.
Yeah. You said they go home.
Yeah, of course, they go home with it to do other security issues. I can't say they put it in their pocket. That would be very, very, very bad.
Look, the political elite, let's put it pronto, the political elite have taken governance and development far away from the people. In other democracies, let's take some of the older democracies like the US. Where do you see the constituents besieging their senators or their House of Representative members to beg for money that they cannot pay school fees and the rest, and so therefore the legislators will now overbloat their salaries? Governance and development have been taken far away from the Nigerian people.
I agree with you. Mr. Chris, I agree with you. Governor has been taken far away from the people, and that is where local government administration have to come to the fore. Before now, local governments were getting so much money. They were given contracts at the local government.
Squandered, before now, Before now. Yeah, they were doing very well.
Chairman was a big man. He can give contract for construction of primary school, culvert, small art road, art dams, and the rest of it. Today, the governors have hijacked the local government system through a devilish thing called JAC, that's joint account. Being that today there is no election in the local government.
Okay, let's quickly leave the local government issue, because Nigerians are really, I know. Nigerians are really, your duty is to legislate for the good governance of this country. And you're trying to justify today's salary of each legislator, 29 million naira. In the face of the asphyxiation Nigerians are going through. Sorry, it looks as if I'm beginning to raise my voice.
Yeah,
I'm only
please
just
raise the voice.
I'm just talking
I
for
want you to off the mic. There's no mic here.
I'm just talking for the Nigerian people,
yes.
really. 29. How justifiable is this in today's Nigerian economy with a salary, a minimum wage of 70,000 naira?
I think what the National Assembly should do is to create a fund, a particular fund in the office of our legislators who are the representatives of the people to take care of this kind of thing so it will not be lumped into their own salary. Let me say this on a live national television. I am poorer, much poorer as a man when I became a politician than I was before I became a politician.
Why didn't you resign and go back to your business?
Because I enjoy serving the people.
You could still serve them with your company.
But now, yes, that is the point, because you will get somebody in that may not be as passionate as I am. Now let me say this today, and go to my village and check this. As a senator, I live in a room and parlor in my village. I never built a house. In my hometown, my local government headquarters, I don't have a house. I live in my friend's house. My friend lecturer gave me a house. I live in it. In my state capital, Yola, I don't have a house.
You are exceptional.
Now, I am saying this on national television. If anybody in the world can point out a house that I built, I was building a mansion before I became a senator. A 23-bedroom mansion with 9 parlors, with a swimming pool in the heart of Mubi. When I became a senator, I stopped it. I took over carrying people's burden, orphans, the vulnerable people. I took over. Their problem became my own problem. Sometimes when I see them, I weep. The conditions some human beings are living in. And you remember that God put this weight on your back. I cannot budge.
But being in government at that national level,
yes,
you had a state government, because the people you're talking about,
yes,
your own constituents, for example, from your senatorial district, besieging you for one assistance or the other.
Yes.
What kind of discussions do you have with the Adamawa State governor when you were in the National Assembly, the governor of Adamawa State, for example?
We never had a discussion with my governor, because 3 months when I was elected into office, we fought. 3 months. We came on the same party. 3 months into office. On principles, we differed on principle. He might be doing his own right in his own way because he's not here to defend himself, and it will be wrong to talk about him when he's not here. But we disagreed.
He has the right to come and appear.
So
if he
3
wants
months, we parted ways. 3 months. In the next 1 year, I decamped to another party because I can't sit in the same room with him. And you know why? I don't like injustice meted against anybody. I'm a man that is straightforward. Once I'm not straightforward, I won't stay with
So you couldn't give him some advice on how for developmental projects, in the state to alleviate the problems of the people there?
Is it not strange to you that every year, have you been to Yola?
Very well.
River Benue passes right to the heart of Yola. And yet, in Yola, Adamawa State, 1 gallon of water is going for 200 naira, 1 gallon of water.
What a shame.
Now, River Benue passed through Adamawa, and government cannot provide drinking water for people in the 21st century Nigeria. People are still dying from cholera and waterborne diseases. That is what I don't understand, what other people are doing in power. Like I said, I received 14.something million naira for the past 5 years. In name, I was saving the money, but I was saving more subsidy of over 40 million from my office that are running something for me. That is the fact. It is not everybody in power that is a thief, Chris. It is not everybody. Some of us have this feeling and that conviction that whatever you gather in this life, you will end up inside your grave. Stop this primitive accumulation of wealth just because you want to feel you have money, which is just a state of mind. If you have 10 billion naira in your bank, it's just a state of your mind. What will happen when you die? You go and die inside a room, a grave, without an air conditioner, without a fan. You are covered with a sand. That is my mentality, and that's why I try to do what is right.